Hi there, I'm Blaine Birch, co-founder and CEO at DryRun with this month's State of the App. And this month I wanted to talk a little bit about a stat that came out in a PwC survey. It's for the PwC 2023 Global Treasury Survey. And they pointed out that 97% of CFOs rank cash and liquidity management as their top priority. And it's not a surprise because right now there's so much volatility in the markets. There's a lot of uncertainty in cash flows, a lot of uncertainty in businesses virtually across the globe. And so now the CFO's role has moved much more into a strategy, and there's much more of a focus on cash flow and where we're headed as a business and how we're going to get there. And there's some issues that are plaguing them over and over again. And one of the key areas is a worry about inaccuracy in their forecasting and visibility. And that's something that can be troublesome when you're buried in spreadsheets, and oftentimes your data may not be up to date. You may have multiple hands all in the pot trying to get your forecast built out, and then you inevitably get inaccuracies, and that leads to, well, all sorts of problems when you're actually trying to figure out where you're headed as a business, as a management team. We also need to be able to look at these forecasts and start to stretch out and figure out what sort of liquidity look like, what sort of funding requirements might we have in the coming months and into 25, and planning for that and making sure that it all makes sense and you have everybody on the same page. We also have to look at near term today, what's happening with working capital. Are you managing that properly? And it's gotten to the point where the businesses are starting to get held back with their lack of technology. If they're using spreadsheets, you have a bunch of hands, like I said, all in the pot trying to figure out what's happening in the business and keeping everybody up to date. And you have multiple entities and you're trying to juggle all these things. It's too critical today to be held back with your technology. And so that's another issue that literally we see CFOs pointing out, that this is the time to start taking a close look at technology to help them through this phase and help them into the next phase of hopefully where we'll be back to growth. We've got a great article on this in this month's newsletter, and if you're looking for a way to try and move away from spreadsheets, especially if you have uncertainty in your cash flow, if you have complexity, multiple entities and consolidation and multiple people all working in your forecast, come and talk with us at dryrun.com, and we'll see if we might be able to help you. Thanks again.